Yamod Rishon, Yamod David Golub. And reading for David will be his nephew, Ari Golub. What precedes the Akedah is the story of Hagar and Ishmael being expelled, and then Abraham making a peace treaty with Abimelech, a Philistine king, at Beersheba. So may it only be prophetic for our times.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim, V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayehi achar hadevarim ha'ele v'ha Elohim nisa et Abraham vayomer elav Abraham vayomer hineni vayomer chapna et bencha et yichidcha asher ahavta et Yitzchak v'lech lecha el eret hamoriah v'halehu sham le'olah Al acha harim asher omare lecha vayashkem Avraham baboker vayachavosh et chamoro vayikach et shnei na'arav ito ve'et Yitzchak beno v'yavaka atzei olah vayakam vayelech el hamakom asher amar lo ha'elohim.
And it came to pass after these things that God did prove Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son, whom thou lovest, even Isaac, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose early in the morning, and saddled his ass, and took two of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and he cleaved the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up, and went unto the place of which God had told him.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Natan Lanu Torah Temet, V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Ya'amod Sheni, Ya'amod Terry Grossman. And reading for Terry will be his son, Dan Grossman. The two men who accompany them may be Ishmael and Eliezer, the main servant. Now, both of them had hoped to be Abraham's heirs. That's why they were pretty happy about the sacrifice. But it is only Abraham and Isaac who go together and become part of the covenant.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayom hashlishi, vayisa Abraham et einav, vayared hamakom merachok, vayomer Abraham el ne'arav, shvu lachem po im hachamor, va'ani v'hanar nelcha ad ko, v'nishachabe v'nashuva aleichem, vayikach Abraham et atzei ha'olah, vayasem al Yitzchak beno, vayikach beyado et ha'esh ve'et ha'machelet, vayelchu shnehem yachdav.
On the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder, and we will worship and come back to you." And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son, and he took in his hand the fire and the knife, and they went both of them together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Ya'amod Shalishi, Ya'amod, Michael Schechter. And reading from Michael will be his daughter, Rebecca Schechter. Isaac's merit is that he had great trust in his father. Abraham's merit is that he earned his son's trust by a lifetime of example and nobleness. So may it be with our children, that we be with our children the best we can.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayomer Yitzhak el Avraham Aviv, Vayomer Avihi, Vayomer Hineni Veni, Vayomer Hine Ha'esh V'ha'etzihim V'yehaseh Le'olah. Vayomer Avraham Elohim Yirelo Haseh Le'olah Beni V'elohu Shnehem Yaktav Vayavo El Hamakom Asher Marlo Elohim Vayiven Sham Avraham Et HaMizbeach Vayaroch.
Yes.
Aytzim Vayakod Et Yitzhak Benoho Vayasem Oto Al HaMizbeach Mimal La'etzim.
And Isaac spoke unto Abraham his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here am I, my son." And he said, "Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering?" And Abraham said, "God will provide himself the lamb for a burnt offering, my son." So they went both of them together, and they came to the place where God had told him of. And Abraham built the altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Ta'amod Revi'i, Ta'amod Zahava Gordon. And reading for Zahava will be her granddaughter, Danielle Rubin. The repetition of the word Hineni, here am I, shows Abraham's personal statement of responsibility.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Vayishlach Avraham et yado, vayikach et hama'achelet lishchot et beno. Vayikra elav malach Adonai min hashamayim. Vayomer Avraham, Avraham. Vayomer Hineni. Vayomer Al tishlach yadcha el hana'ar ve'al ta'as lo me'uma. Ki ata yadati. Ki erei Elohim ata velo chasachta et bincha et yitchidcha mimeni.
And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything upon him. For now I know that thou art a God-fearing man, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Ya'amod Hamishi, Ya'amod Richard Schaefer. And reading for Richard will be his daughter, Paulina Schaefer. The substitution of the ram is indicative of the end of human sacrifice. The ram's horn, the shofar, remains our symbolic image.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayisa Avraham et einav vayar v'hine ayil achar ne'echaz bazvach bekaranav vayelech Avraham v'ikach et ha'ayil v'yalehu le'olah tachat benov vayikra Avraham Shem hamakom hahu Adonai yirech asher yemer hayom v'achar Adonai yeraeh.
And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place Adonai Yireh, as it is said to this day, in the mount where the Lord is seen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam natan betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Ya'amod Shishi, Ya'amod Scott Lichtman. And reading for Scott will be his son, Eli Lichtman. God promised Abraham that his seed will multiply as the sands of the ocean, and that has come true, as is evidenced by all the people who are here.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamivorach B'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayikra Malach Adonai El Avraham Shenit Min Hashamayim Vayomer Binishpati Ne'um Adonai Ki Ya'an Asher Asita Et Hadavar Hazeh Velo Hasachta Et Binchad Yechideha Ki Varech Avarechecha Veharba arbe et zarecha kechokve hashamayim vekachol asher el sfat hayam veirash zarecha et sha'ar oivav.
And the angel of the Lord called unto Abraham a second time out of heaven, and said, By myself have I sworn, saith the Lord, because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, and that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed, as the stars in the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore. And thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Ya'amod Shivi Ya'amod Mitchell Sheps, and reading for Mitchell will be his daughter, Jordan Sheps. The nations of the earth have been blessed by Jewish contributions to science, medicine, economics, and literature, as noted by the large number of Nobel Prizes that we have won.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayiparachu v'zaracha kol goyei ha'aretz ekev asher shamata bikoli vayashav Avraham el ne'arav vayakumu vayachu yaktav el be'er shava vayeshev Avraham biver shava.
And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast hearkened to my voice. So Abraham returned unto his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham dwelt at Beersheba.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Natan B'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Ya'amod Maftir, Ya'amod Mark Sandler. And reading for Mark will be his son, Benjamin Sandler.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavarach. Baruch Adonai Hamavarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Uvachodesh השביעי באחד לחודש, מקרא קודש יהיה לכם, כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו, יום תרועה יהיה לכם. ועשיתם עולם לריח ניחוח לאדוני, פר בן בחר אחד איל אחד, כבשים בני שנה, שבעה תמימים.
And in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall have a holy gathering. You shall do no labor. It is a day of blowing the shofar for you. And you shall offer a burnt offering for a sweet savor to Adonai, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year without blemish.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Yamod Hagba, Yamod Glila. To lift the Torah, we all see the words that have been read from the book of Genesis, chapter 22, the Akedah. I call upon Mo Siegel to lift the Torah. To wrap the Torah, I call upon Barbara Gutman and Carol Greenberg. Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. This is the entire story of the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, that has been read by all of the young people today. This is the Torah which Moses placed before the children of Israel by the mouth of Adonai in the hand of Moses, and we all say, Amen. Please be seated. What we have here is 4 mothers who will be reading the Haftarah for us, in some way carrying on this theme of Hannah as the mother. 2 of these mothers gave birth very recently, within the last number of months. And each one of them stood with me at one point and this entire Chavurat to become bar bat mitzvah, and the Torah was placed in their arms. And they come back years later, and they represent the Jewish tradition for us as it continues to go forward. So may I ask those 4 women to come forward: Emily, Stephanie, Sarit, and Leslie.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar binvim tovim, v'ratzav Deevray hane'emarin behemet. Baruch atah Adonai Aboher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'b'nviei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Then Hannah prayed and said, "My heart rejoices in Adonai. My horn is exalted in Adonai. My mouth is enlarged over my enemies, because I rejoice in your salvation. There is none holy as Adonai, for there is none beside you, nor is there any rock like our God. Talk no more so very proudly. Let not arrogance come out of your mouth. For Adonai is a God of knowledge, and by Adonai are actions weighed. The bows of the mighty men are broken, and those who stumbled are girded with strength."
ותתפלל חנה ותאמר, עלץ ליבי באדוני, רמה קרני באדוני, רחב פי על אויבי, כי שמחתי בישועתך. אין קדוש כאדוני, כי אין בלתך, ואין צור כאלוהינו. אל תרבו תדברו, גבוהה גבוהה, יצא עתק מפיכם, כי אל דעות אדוני, ולא נתקלו עלילות. קשת גיבורים חטאים ונכשלים, עזרו חיל.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sur kol haolamim, sadik b'kol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'aseh, ha'medober u'mekayem, shekol divorah, emet fat tzedek. Al ha-Torah, v'al ha-avodah, v'al ha-nevi'im, v'al yom ha-zikaron hazeh. Shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, umvarchim otach. Yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai, tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, B'kadesh v'Yisrael, v'yom hazikaron. Amen.
Watch all of Shalom TV's Services for the Jewish High Holidays, a presentation of Jewish education in media, made possible by
ילדים בחופשה, ישחקו תופסת בין הבית לבין השדות.
L'Shana Tova U'Mituka. Have a healthy, happy, and sweet new year.
עוד תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה.